Hey, what is up everybody? Welcome to a new video. My name is Midway. We're looking at how to kill Dr. ICKUS as a Holy Paladin on a very high tyrannical key, in this case a plus 28 playful. This boss is actually one of the easiest ones, I would say, and he doesn't really do that much. However, there's been some recent changes that make the fight a little bit different than you might expect it to be, as well as there's some ways of increasing your DPS during this fight in very long tyrannical fights. So the first change is the slime injection. Now when you dispel that, it spawns a slime. However, the slime now scales properly with tyrannical, and therefore it's going to do a lot of damage, and you soaking it will most likely bring you down a lot of HP, and therefore you kind of want the tank to be the one that's soaking those slimes now instead of being yourself. It used to be the case that those slimes did 0 damage and therefore anybody could step on them, and yeah, you can see the hunter just got chunked by quite a bit. Now, of course, you ideally want to have a Necrolord. Yourself will always be the Necrolord, usually. And then you can use the red slime to get the buff. You can consume the buff with a Fleshcraft, and therefore you can get a bunch of haste. And you can stand on that buff and just keep on DPSing and DPSing. That will be something that we want to be doing again after we dealt with this bomb right here. Once we kill the bomb, and we keep the corrosive slimes, is that what they called? With the damage reduction slimes, basically. Once we keep them in check and we deal with the bomb, we want to be moving back to the previous pool, and therefore we can then keep on using that buff and therefore do more damage. Now you want to wait until the next leap happens, and the reason for that is because otherwise the boss will move very slowly, and therefore you will lose damage. And there you go, the boss is now jumping. We will of course want to dodge it, but he will always jump to the furthest target. That's why you want the tank or anybody else to move next to the pool. And there we go, we go back into the pool, and we can keep on using the buff to our advantage, and that way we can face the boss to the next threshold, which in this case will be 33%. We can still have used this buff for a little while to increase the quickness of killing this boss. The buff is now gone, the pool is gone, so that's it, but it is a little way of making the fight easier. The fight is really tank and spank, so long as you dodge the jumps. The jumps can be pretty annoying to deal with, however, it's just a matter of looking at the boss's direction as he's jumping, and if you can then really in your head picture where he's gonna land, that way you can safely never really get hit by that. But that's not always the case, of course. You will sometimes lose track of where he's jumping, and you do not picture in your head where the swirlies are going to be spawning, and therefore you just die. A good idea for that is to, of course, save a bubble in case you panic, but in any case, sometimes having a bubble in case you cannot kill the bomb for whatever reason is a very good idea. If you are not able to kill the big bomb, you can just bubble it, and therefore you will not die. But in those cases, more often than not, it's going to be pure chaos, so maybe it's not that great of an idea to hope that that happens or expect it to happen, but it's always good to be ready for things like that to go on. And then again, it's just a matter of keeping up with those debuffs onto the tank, dispel, they pick up the slime, dodging the jumps, and therefore just killing this boss as soon as possible, because it really is a tank and spank. You want to be lusting at some point, usually at the end, because you do not have the haste buff, and therefore, well, might as well use it to speed up the fight at that point. And really the fight just becomes very simple, and it really is just a very simple fight. The healing requirements are non-existent so long as nobody fucks up anything. If somebody does fuck up anything, usually they're gonna be getting one shot, because that is because either they stood on the swirly because of the jumps, or is because of the bomb blowing up and therefore you're dead. So really just a matter of doing damage and then the fight is over. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it useful, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.